Welcome back everybody, and welcome back to the hot seat of my Focus RS Mark III, where today we're going to talk about some Q&A stuff. I'm going to answer a lot of questions that you guys ask me on a regular basis. I did a poll on my Instagram, so if you asked a question, you're going to hear it here today.
Hit subscribe.
We interrupt our
Let's have a little pull of this car whilst we got some open road. I don't know if you can hear the Cobb air filter going there. Yeah, this car is epic. I absolutely love it. Nice bit of bourbon overrun there. Yeah. What a car, the Mark III Focus RS. Okay, so this is going to be one video you do not want to miss today, okay? So there's loads going to go on it. Answer some really cool questions and talk about some stuff. And my Fiesta RS Turbo. I've not seen this for about 6 months. And what the actual heck? They're everywhere. So yeah, fuck your barn finds, as they say. All these turbos and stuff like that, and XR2Is, and fucking need to fix my car, need to fix it fast. But that takes us on to another part. That's a quick little walk around of my unit. So yeah, we've spoken about Boosted 2000, and yeah, that's it. It doesn't look as big out there, maybe not on a video it looks as big, but that will hold 4 cars amply. So the two best boys in town working next to each other. Next, another question, some other kind of stuff is coming to the channel. So yeah, we know my Fiesta RS Turbo. And next, I guess I have a car out for you now. Yep, lovely garage. And you know what? It's next to Sanders Body Repairs. Okay, so back in my old stomping grounds. Oh yeah, that noise, I missed that. Does anybody know what that is? And no, it's not the SE from up the yard. Does anyone know? Put it down in the comments. Okay, so yeah, that's right, you spotted. It is a Series 1 RS Turbo, yeah? And that's Matthew's new little side project. Yeah, Matthew, isn't it? Sanders. So yeah, let's take a quick walk around this. It's going to have a full restoration, lots and lots of metalwork, engine, and it's going to be original OEM plus some 90s mods, I think. But yeah, and we're working on this next to my Fiesta unit. So there's going to be lots of content on this to come on a channel. So yeah, Series 1 dropping on the channel. Everyone asks what's happening on channel, so yeah, we're having Series 1. One of my all-time favourite cars. Not mine, Matthew's, but there'll be plenty of content to come. Right, as they say in Twin Town, cup of tea, boys, cup of tea. So Welsh thing. So right, let's answer some of these questions for you. Question number 1. Why the Escort Cosworth? Well, Coswish. Go back in the older videos, read my my fast forward blog and feature. When I was about 14, 15, my brother came home in a Escort RS Cosworth, which I thought at the time, actually it wasn't an Escort Cosworth, it was a replica. As a kid, to look up my nan's steps and see him get out of the white one, it was absolutely a game changer for me. Always bought the Max Power magazines and kind of stuff, and always wanted to drive. And seeing that then gave me the goal that I wanted one. And I never knew a real Escort Cosworth as such then, because in the era I grew up, there was reps and all that kind of stuff. But they were a cool looking car, but they were massively overrated and people didn't really like them as much then. They were unobtainable. So later on I started driving. I remember pulling into Mile End petrol station, and there's a guy called, I think it's Kerry Morgan. He used to have one and had like a 32-inch sub in the back, and that's when it really stood out and I wanted one. And I was like, I always want to get one of these cars. And then, funny enough, that car in question is the car that's on my channel that I've been welding and putting it back on the road. One of the boys bought it off him, Paul Holmes. That's a hell of a story in itself, isn't it? But the car that made me aspire to what I wanted is the car that I've been working on putting it back on the road. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, I wanted one. I wanted to build one. Always wanted to build a rep. My mum had a Mark 6 Escort. So I kind of always wanted to build onto that, but it got stolen with my Max Power body kit and stuff. It would have been terrible. 1.3 push-rod engine. But yeah, that's why, and I've kind of always loved them. I've had loads of chances to buy one, and I've always not done it. And that will help answer another question further on. Okay, question 2. If I had to pick 2 of my all-time favourite cars out of what I've ever owned, what would they be? That's really, really, really hard. I thought I was like the Don when I was 21, and I had an Audi TT and it'd only just come out, albeit left-hand drive, but nah, that's not one of them. So likely it would have been my Renault 5 GT Turbo, which run 199.8 brake horsepower, just shy of 200. I used to tell everyone it was 200. Absolutely loved that car. I did, I loved it. It went through like 3 or 4 head gaskets on it in like 18 months. If I could turn back time, that car would never have gone. I think I sold it for like 80 quid, because it had like parking fines on it and stuff, and back end it weren't worth anything. The bonnet blew off because it was being told about the head on it, because it had a head bolt extracted from it because it snapped in the block. They were like high tensile reusable ones. And I remember when we towed it, my brother knocked it into gear, and I hope you're watching this, Austin, knocked it into gear to try and slow down, and rod was like bang, 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 and it just flew the piston out, hit the carbon fibre bonnet off, scored the block to an extent it was just a write-off. Sold it, got a scrap engine with my mate, they put it back in it, Palmer and Bow, he drove it around for a few months, blew it up. But yeah, I loved that car. It had 80 spec Recaros in it, carbon fibre, Williams style bonnet, it was great. I had 16 17s and standard wheels on it. Yeah, that's one car. I'll do an overlay and stuff of it now. It's actually on the internet on Bike Cops in Western Wheels. Yeah, that was a good car. I would love to own another one. Problematic cars, but yeah, it was great. And yeah, my Polo G40. So, which started, I bought a Polo Coupe S. All the boys took a piss because it was like 54 brake. I then went out and bought a Polo G40, one at like 500. did loads to it, chip, pulley, cam, stage 4 gas flow charger on it, full exhaust system and everything. That thing was flying. I was a cosy killer. I had my own website, cozzykiller.tk or something. It used to spit flames on the exhaust. It was rapid. Kill 2 litre 16 valve Novas on NOS and stuff. It was a good car, done 140, obviously on the Autobahn. But yeah, those are the 2 cars that I would love to own again. And maybe one day I will. Maybe I'll buy a project and build one. That's a good one. I heard you had a TT. When did you stop cutting hair? So yeah, when I was 2021, I had an Audi TT in denim blue. It's for 180, 2-wheel drive, very rare now, because they're normally 150s. It had a set of 3.2 V6 wheels on it. It had the 3.2 V6 balance. I put the twin exhaust on it, Revo tune. I had a forged front mounted intercooler on it, and it was tuned. It was like 260 brake. That was a good car. And then I had to sell it shortly after and make a massive loss on it. At the time, I bought that when my mate bought his Escort Cosworth, and I laughed at him, saying, what a waste, why have you done that, and stuff like that, that thing's going to rot, and all that. Looking back, who's laughing now? He still owns our car. But yeah, I also then had a second one. I had an Audi TT Mark II. I bought that as a stopgap run around car because it was cheap, and kind of restored it earlier back in early days of the channel, done some stuff. That was a good car. 2 litre TFSI, 200 brake with a MAP 240 brake. It was alright. Sold it to my mate. He killed it. It's still going around the local town now, like an Asbo. But yeah, I did have TTs, and in fairness, they're good cars. Those BAM engines and stuff, wherever they are, they're good. And you can't mock them, can't diss them. And to be that age, when they first come out and actually have them, it was a hell of an achievement. It was way better than a Cosworth back then. Or, how do you find the Mark III Focus RS? Wow, let me tell you, what a car. It's 4 doors, it's 401 brake horsepower. It looks the bomb. It's a nice car, relatively cheap to insure, well, very cheap to insure. It's got all the mods, it's got drift mode, it's 4-wheel drive. Not the best on fuel, but yeah, I love it. I think it's an absolutely great car, and I would recommend anybody go and get one now whilst they're at a good price, because it is the last of the RS, and they're only ever going to go up in value. And just look after it and enjoy it. When are you getting the Fiesta RS Turbo up and running? Well, it is running. Well, it was. It's had an engine rebuild. It's had loads of work done on it. I've owned it for about 6, maybe 7 years. But I just stopped it because I'd done the Escort. Yep, you would have seen the last clip. So my unit, I'm just waiting for handover for the keys, waiting for the water meter to be installed. And it will be all systems go on our car, because I have the space and I've got the capability to do it. So myself will be working on that in one unit. Matthew will be next door working on the Series 1, as well as other cars on the channel and stuff, and quick flips maybe, and projects, and more on the Escort. But yeah, that will be pretty much soon, and I've got a deadline on it in my head. And look, I'll probably take it to some shows. Hopefully it'll be a bit of a showstopper. My old Fiesta RS Turbo turned heads. It's not going to be original. It's not. I don't care if... Is it an investment? No. It's built because I'm going to show what I'm capable of, and I want it to be enjoyed for a period of time. But I probably will sell the car, because my heart is in this. Maybe I'll fall back in love with it. Maybe I'll give it to the kids as a stuff, whatever, or sell it and live a better quality of life, or just invest the money back into something. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, it's being done. What gave you the drive and commitment to build such a great car? So if you're talking about that, I think I've always been into cars, and I've always been really handy with stuff, very hands-on person. I'm not a quitter. I like to invest in these things because they give me a bit of self-worth. My wife will tell you that she thinks I'm riddled with ADHD, non-diagnosed, but yeah, I am a very busy person. I can't switch off. I like to think I'm a fast learner, and I like to turn my hand to anything. I don't admit any form of defeat. I will try to do something myself. I'm probably not so much a kind of guy who reads instructions. I'm more of a learner, hands-on. Give me something to do and I'll do it, and I will do it the best I can, and I won't stop doing it until it's done. You'll see through this tenacity and all that kind of stuff. In my real life job, I've got to demonstrate tenacity. I'm pushed very close to my limits, and mentally I just get through it, and it makes me a stronger person day in, day out. But yeah, to build this, it's what I wanted. I couldn't afford, well, I could have afforded one. But I bought this. Just before I bought this, I was in a lineup to buy a Series 1, then a Mark 1 Focus RS. Me and Chelsea were going to buy one together as an investment. And this came up, and it was the other side of the world, to us, Scotland. And I did it, and it wasn't what I expected when it came. So we had to make it right. So I wanted to have a rep. I wanted to build a rep, but I also didn't want to be embarrassed and called out for having a poor one. Didn't want to be that guy. So I wanted, for my own integrity, build the best version of it. So if people did call it out, like they do, it doesn't bother me, because I'll be like, go and do a better job yourself. There will be people out there do a better job, but they might have to pay somebody for it or not be able to do it all themselves. I know I've laid my hand on every nut and bolt on this car, underneath it, on it, every panel on this car I've been involved in, and the engine, been involved in all the way, the wiring, the ECU, every problem I've solved and fixed myself. So yeah, hope that answers your question. Let's close this bonnet, give it a better view. Next question. What's happening with the Cosy, and do you ever see yourself selling it? So I love it how everybody calls it the Cosy. That again gives me self-worth. What's happening with it? Waiting for the map, run it in, get it to some shows. I've done some damage to the bodywork, so I need some tweaks and stuff. I am thinking about maybe a temporary little bits of wrap on the car to prolong the bodywork. I am looking at maybe different manifold and a bigger turbo and chase more power, LSD, all that kind of stuff. I am looking at stuff like maybe Mark 2 Focus RS seats, trimmed, really bespoke, and keep the original hex aside and go all out inside your car. I'm looking at different wheels. I'm looking at keeping it exactly the same. And there's talks, Matthew is plaguing me for a colour swap, but a non-factory colour swap. And I am tempted. Am I ever looking at selling it? Gosh, you could have asked me 10 times over the last year and it would have gone. At the minute, no. I just look at it in the garage, and if it's a 20 grand car as it is, I'd rather sit on 20 grand and not run, and just walk it into my garage and open that door and think, gosh, that's a good looking car. I've been offered 20 a few times for it, and you can laugh at that, some people will, and some people will say it's cheap. Some people will say 20 grand for that piece of crap. But no, it's insured and agreed value for that. It's certainly worth more. You won't build a car like that. I don't know, but sometimes if the right car comes up and there's an offer there on it, but it'd have to be the right car. I love it. It just obviously gives you anxiety and stress. And sometimes you can park that and not need it. Who knows? Who knows what the future holds? I'd like to say no. What's happening with your rust bucket Fiesta? That's a bit harsh, isn't it? Well, it's rotting away, isn't it? You've seen the photos at the videos at the start. But lots happening. I think I've covered that off. So floor panels, you can't buy in a sale. So fabrication on a car, front floor panels I'm aware of. It's got wings to go on it, A-pillar section, scuttle, dent in the rear. I've got, rear quarters go on, rear valance, front valance. It's going non-original spec, modified, but still looking right. And if you want to see what else happens to it, stay on the channel because it's going to get done soon. We really get our teeth into that. Lots of welding work, panel work, block work, sanding, paint work, maybe a mix up with some colour. But yeah, again, that's something was happening in the background. But yeah, it is a rusty car. All Fords rust. They rusted leaving a factory. So, but when it's done, it's going to be mint. Okay, so that is a selection of questions. I will flip you around and go through some more of them now. I just don't want to, I'm conscious I'm going to bore you. I'm hoping you do find this kind of interesting. So, and it defeats, well, it helps me not having to answer these things repetitively on my Instagrams and my socials. Yeah, and it's a bit of fun. I'm actually enjoying doing it, being put in the hot seat. Change of scenery. Next question. How much did it cost you to build the Escort? Can't tell you that, can I? I did a video a few years ago of what it would cost then and how much parts are. Don't forget we painted it ourselves, so that's 7-8 grand. Engine work, second Ford's rebuild, ECU and all that kind of stuff. Buy in genuine Cosworth bits on it. You ain't gonna build that car for 30 grand now yourself. And that's maybe paying people for paint and stuff, and like you said, I don't know, look, you can't build that car for 20-30 grand now. I don't understand these people, it's my right away. Yeah, realistically, it's not a cheap thing to do, hence the fact why reps are becoming more sought after and parts are very, very expensive because you're paying RS tax and you're fighting genuine RS owners for these parts. If money was no object, what would you buy? A bumpy. I'm not that guy who'll go out and buy a Bugatti Veyron. I'm not that guy who goes out and buys a new Porsche GTS or RS, whatever, RS3. I would go out and get myself an old 80s, 90s Porsche. Something I could use and enjoy. Maybe an old 911 Turbo. Maybe just an old 911, even to the extent of getting like the 911s on like the late 90s, early 2000s, and just to upset everybody, maybe with the fried egg headlights, because I reckon they're up and coming and they're gonna be the next thing. I like this question. You seem to be handy and know what you're doing with cars. Is this your job? No. So I worked in a body shop for like 6 years, on all my days off, on my spare time, on my holidays and after work, learning a lot, always been around cars. My job is, I'm in the same job I've been in for 26 years. I'm 42, I left school at 16, and progressed in a company. I'm not going to name the company, I'm not going to bring that into my YouTube. But yeah, I'm a loyal, hard-working person to them, and I work for a very, very well-known supermarket chain, and I'm actually a store manager. So yeah, I've been a store manager for about 15 years with them. Before that I was a deputy duty manager and all that kind of stuff, progressed from the bottom up. So yeah, that's my story about my work. That's going to do my head in, but the light is bad. Next question. Let's turn this a bit, hold on, that's better. Is there a car that got away? Yeah, is there a car that you missed out and got away and still like to have? Yes, there is. It is a K plate white Escort RS Cosworth, which I was in talks with buying, insurance was sorted out, money was sorted out. It was about 17 grand at about 13 years, no it wasn't, it was about 10 years ago. And my friend Simon Phillips talked me out of it because I didn't have a garage. and he's like, people will steal the bumpers off your drive, this, that, they'll get wrecked, they'll be rotten, and gosh, how much I do regret it. Also, back around 15 or so years ago, I bought a Mark IV Astra GSI in black. I wanted a red one, but I bought one in black, and I walked away from it, and I didn't buy it because it wasn't as described. I won it on eBay, but looking back now, I wish I bought that too. How much do you make on YouTube? Let me tell you, sweet FA. It took a long time to become monetized and work out the algorithms and trend. I currently make in between £60 a month and about £100 a month. Sometimes, if you don't hit the £60 threshold, you've got 2 months to wait for it. But yeah, not a great deal. So every like, share, comment really does help, okay? So all those kind of little things which don't cost you anything reward me, because they put me on the algorithm, they put me on the trending pages, all that kind of stuff. So please, share it to your socials, share it to your Instagram stories, all that kind of stuff. It means a lot. Why did you decide to build a rep? Look, we've covered that off already. I won't ignore the question, but it's back earlier. How much power am I looking at getting out of my Escort? Block should hold 600, turbo will hold 400, injectors will go all day. Realistically, mid threes as a usable figure. I'll get 400 out of it. I'll probably have switchable maps. I'm not going to drive it hard, so I say now. I've got 401 brake in this. I just don't want to brake it again. So, and I won't put the power down. So yeah, maybe mid 300s to 400. Who knows? Maybe in the future, when it's on the road, next objective is to chase more power. What will it take me to sell the Escort? Don't know, drop into my DMs and I'll tell you. If the offer's right, who knows? Are you going to colour change? I've covered off a bit around that earlier. There are a few colours in my head I'd like to do, and they're very out there 90s colours that you do not see on an Escort Cosworth. Maybe a wrap, but then Matthew will batter me, or will try to. He'll never be able to, because being painter and all that, wraps like swearing. But who knows? I do love a white Escort Cosworth, and with it being frozen white, it's just special. There's a few more, but I've covered them off. I'm going to leave it on this one. Would you ever buy a non-Ford project? Yes, I never buy a non-Ford project. Yeah, I would. Renault 5 GT Turbo, Polo G40, a Porsche. For dream's a Porsche. I don't know if a dream is bigger than have the Porsche itself and not having an Escort, or is it having an Escort and a Porsche? If I had the Escort Go and I had a Porsche, will the Escort become the dream? I love Evos. I do love Evos. So yeah, I would buy one. God knows, or I'd have to be rich. I'd have to really grow a channel. I don't know, but yeah, that's that. That's the questions all wrapped up. I'm off into my 9 till 5 now. I hope you like this video. It's different. I hope you like the fact that the unit has come in, and the fact that I hope you can hear me. I hope you like the fact the Series 1 will be dropping on the channel. That's a bit of a bomb I dropped on you today. And the Fiesta has turbo. So yeah, happy days. Hopefully you'll see us out in the Escort very soon. And hopefully, if you haven't already, hit like, sub and enable notifications. Share it. Tell your nan to subscribe to me. Tell your next door neighbour to subscribe to me. Okay? We can't do this on our own. I need you, and I really appreciate all the help. Because without you lot behind those viewing screens, I'm doing it. Yeah, I'm doing this for myself. But I also like to do it for people. I like people to see it, and I like to know when I'm giving people something back. Until next time.